Hey guys, Dan here. I wasn't really going to do a review of Royal City Sonic Youth, which is Volume 2 in the series. And I have to say, I think that the series hopefully has ended with the 3 volumes that are out. But, special case scenario, I had already read Volumes 1 and 3 prior to reading this. I never did any reviews for them. To be honest with you guys, we're going to go into... This is going to not just be a review of Volume 2, but I'm thinking about doing a review of the whole series in its entirety, so that way this one makes a little more sense. I feel like I have to do that in order for this one book review to make sense. Now, for those not familiar, because this series was not on my radar. I had not heard of Royal City until I saw it come up on my feed for Goodreads, and I was like, oh, it's another Jeff Lemire series, and I'm like, it kind of looks interesting, you know, it's kind of watercolors, and it's set in the 90s, so I'm like, it may be interesting. So I went ahead and checked out Volume 1, which I read Volume 1, and once I read Volume 1, I was like, oh, it's like small town family drama. Not exactly my boat or my cup of tea, so I just thought it was okay. And I was kind of like, because everybody on Goodreads seems to love this series. Just throwing it out there. And this is another reason why I was like, maybe I should do a video reviewing the whole series, because maybe you guys who are subscribers to my channel might enjoy this series. Maybe you've never heard of it. Maybe it's something that you might enjoy. Family drama's just not my thing, to be honest with you. So when I read the first volume, I thought it was just okay. It's about this family, you know, couple of brothers and a sister, and mom and dad marital problems. One of the kids had died. Either he committed suicide or he just died. It's very kind of fuzzy and unclear how he dies. I'm not even going to spoil it because I don't want to talk about it too much in case you haven't read it. But it all has to do with the family, how they're coming to grips with his loss and the changes in their family situation. So it was just a little too much drama for me. The only way I like watching drama shows is if they've got comedy in them. If it's got comedy in them, then I'm all for watching that type of stuff. But I don't really want to read drama type stuff. So I thought the first volume was just okay. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Then I went and read Volume 3, like, thinking that I had already... The series is just so average to me, and I was kind of wondering if, you know, it was one of those hyped up things, like, everybody's rating this so highly just because it's written by Jeff Lemire. I'm like, is it just that thing where it's like, oh, it's Jeff Lemire, and everybody thinks his shit don't stink, and everything he writes is golden? So I just wrote it off as that, and I thought, well, maybe I read Volume 2, just didn't remember reading it because this series is so mediocre for me. So I went ahead, read Volume 3, and to be honest with you guys, I just didn't like it. It was really soap opera-ish. Volume 3 kind of ended like... I can't spoil it for you. I can't tell you what happened, but I felt like the ending, the resolution to the story felt really soap opera-ish, and I felt like it let me down as a reader. I was like, that's what you're giving me? But it is what it is. So then I realized I had not yet read Volume 2, went back and decided to check out Volume 2. This is an Image comic, and if I had not already mentioned it, this is fantasy. I don't know why it's fantasy. It should just be D for drama. But for some reason, it's classified as a fantasy. It's rated M for mature because it does go over mature, like, you know, topics like about drugs, sexuality, and, you know, death and stuff like that. So it's not for the kids. But yeah, this one... Whereas I didn't really enjoy Volumes 1 and 3, I really enjoyed Volume 2. Now, Volume 2, the character who has died, his name is Tommy. They're the Pike family, and his name is Tommy Pike, and he's this one kind of explains a little more about Tommy, because we kind of see him in Volume 1 and 3 as kind of like this ghost, or like this imaginary friend. Like, you don't really get a real feel for who Tommy really is until you get to Volume 2. In Volume 2, we kind of see who he really was, what he was really going through. Like, I guess he was having bad headaches, like migraines, and was just like, felt like he didn't really have any friends, felt like alone in the world and all that. You know, typical teenage stuff, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, I really enjoyed this one. I felt like, you know, with them having shed the light on this mysterious ghost-like character, really made it for me. Like, this, I decided to rate 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Like I said, this made the whole series make more sense. It's sad that I had to, you know, get to Volume 2 last for that to happen for me, but yeah. One of the things I really appreciated were, like, a lot of the little nods to 90s culture, like the shirts and stuff like that, and a lot of the music, because he'll be sitting in his room listening to music, and you'll see, like, you know, cassettes and CDs, different albums, and I liked how they did these tribute covers that are different covers of 90s bands. I thought that was really cool. Bonus points if you guys can name these albums. I can name almost all of them except for one, which I'm not really familiar with the one, but I know all these albums. Yeah. So it is what it is. In its entirety, I kind of did an average rating, like, based on, you know, like, hey, Volume 1 I thought was a 3, this was a 4, and then Volume 3 I thought was a 2-star, so that's like a 9, and I did an average. So it's an average rating of 3 for the entire series. It's an okay read if you guys are into drama, you're into 90s culture. It isn't sway too much on it doesn't focus too much on the 90s thing. If you're looking for a nostalgia read, that's not where it's at. It's mostly just a familial kind of soap opera kind of drama mostly. But it is what it is. I don't know at this point, like, this isn't that old. This collects issues number 6 through 10, by the way. It's not that old. Okay, this was printed in April 2018. It's not that old, so it's like, it hasn't been out that long, so I don't know if there is a combined, like, omnibus featuring all 3 volumes yet or not. And I really do hope that this series ended with the 3rd volume, because I really can't see them dragging this series on when they kind of resolved it in Volume 3, so if they do, I'm really going to be surprised. But if they do have a full-on compilation, I will have a link down below of that. If not, I will have each separate volume with a link to purchase each one if you'd like to check those out. Like I always say, you know, any and all purchases through the links, I get a small percentage of it. It kind of helps me out. Have the views, just don't have the subscribers. It is what it is. Also, there's the tip jar if you want to throw in a couple bucks to help me out with lighting, you know, microphones, movie editing software, stuff like that. Be greatly appreciated. I do appreciate all of those who've helped out in the past. Big thank you goes out to those guys. I was thinking about doing new subscriber shout-outs, but, like, sometimes it doesn't tell me who all subscribes, so I kind of had to get rid of that idea. But that's all I got for you guys. Really brief kind of review of the whole series. I just wanted to throw it out there in case this isn't on your radar if you hadn't heard of it. Like I said, it wasn't on my immediate radar, so like I kind of stumbled upon it. And I was thinking maybe someone subscribed to my channel might enjoy this series, so they can check it out. It is what it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, later.